coming. I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it is. That's what I be thinking.
I like that.
You like that?
What's going on, 40 Years Podcast? My name is Stefan Speller. I do apologize for not uploading uh, videos for about a month now on 40 Years. Um, so, I'm taking time to write a book and I am working diligently to complete it. I am almost done with it. I'm hoping to publish it in 2025, but have to be on God's timing. Maybe it'll be 2025, 2026, who knows? But that's my goal. But again, God's time and not my own. But I want to take a moment to talk about my grandma Dorothy. For some of you who probably don't know, um, my grandma is actually singing the intro um, in the video. Uh, Been a long, long time coming. I know. All right, so I can't sing as good as she does, but I like it because she has a nice voice, and it's a way for me to honor her memory. Um, but there are many people in my hometown, in Pensacola. Um, they could tell you many things about Grandma Dorothy, a lot of stories about her. But I want to focus on who she was before she passed. So I recently got a chance to visit my hometown, Pensacola, Florida, and I got an opportunity to look through her King James Bible, and I noticed that it was very marked up. It was underlined, highlighted. This woman studied her Bible left to right, front, back, and that's what I want to talk about right now. You see, um, when I was younger, I uh, I can't lie. Sometimes I felt like my grandma was a little grumpy. You know, but that was kind of her personality. She didn't play around. If you didn't like what she had to say, she would tell you, or she would remind you what her door was. But that's how she was. Um, but as a 34-year-old man who has come to Christ and has been studying the Word for myself, you just don't know what type of pressure people have been under in their lifetime. You just don't know, especially as a kid. You can't even really imagine or fathom just the type of pressure that somebody has had to face in their life. You know, um, my grandma was born 1929, so she has lived through a lot of things in her life. She passed away in 2015. She was 85 when she died. Uh, so she's seen a lot. She was she had 10 kids. From what I understand, her husband passed when my mother was 7. So she had 10 kids that she had to raise. Um, but my grandmother feared the Lord. And even though that she was without a husband, she kept God first. I recall in her later years, because I moved in with her in 2007. I believe it was 2007. I moved in with her and stayed with her for a couple of years. But every time at 5 something in the morning, she would be up in her Bible with her prayer buddy, reading her scriptures, saying prayers, and she was doing that every morning. And that's important because you can say whatever you want about Grandma Dorothy, but whatever story you have about her, she was a God fearing woman and she studied her scriptures. And if she was here today, she would tell you there was no way that she could have got through what she went through without Jesus Christ. And see, many times people talk about, grandmas not being the same as they were back in the day. Well, you got to understand something. The things that changed is the relationship with God through Jesus Christ. You know, see, many grandparents had a much closer relationship with Jesus Christ back in the day. And that has an effect on how they parent, how they grandparent. It has an effect, because at the end of the day, whose heart is with the Lord? Whose heart is with the Lord? That's what you got to look at, you know. So, thought I'd share that, uh, mainly because that's one of the things that I remember most. And I look at her in a different light now. I look at her in a different light, uh, as far as being a child of God, you know, um, keeping God first, studying the Word. You know what I mean? Um, Grandma Dorothy, you are missed, but I know that you're in a better place now. You're with the Lord, and no other no other place is it better for anyone to be than with the Lord. So I thank God for my time with her, and you guys have a nice day. And thank you for watching. Oh, you know what? It's been a while. If you aren't reading scriptures, if you have not read the Bible, if you don't know where to start off in the New Testament. There's 27 books in the New Testament, 39 books in the Old Testament. But just some advice. All right. Before we start doing Press Out and Measure podcast, we spent many days just talking about the Word. That's really all we did. Any downtime that we had, we were talking about the Word of God. With excitement. We both shared a passion talking about the Word of God. And so such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing.